like I said, like I say, I really cared about people. I cared. Like no one, most people didn't know. I was the one who said, "Leave no man behind." I was the one who, like at one point in time, there was a missing Air America pilot or a missing pilot or someone like that, lost in the jungle, and I actually had my people contact the Viet Cong, and actually had the Viet Cong also looking for this person as well, and also I also had pulled in air units. I actually was like, whose fucking military is this? Because like everyone had aircraft in the area, and I was like, I want you to find this pilot. He was missing. You know, so Air America was searching, of course, too, but they couldn't search everywhere. And so I actually initiated one of the largest manhunts or searches for a downed aircraft ever. Around that time, around the time of Vietnam, I called in, I forced them to start searching. Basically, I had the Marines had two aircraft in the area, and I had them work with start flying, doing flyovers of a small area, and then I had another aircraft. I pulled in the Air Force as well. I was like, whose aircraft are these? They're yours, sir. People would say, and I said, good. And I want you to find our missing person. He's crashed out there, and he's in the jungle. He could be injured already. I was the one who demanded who would spare no expense to find a man that was lost. I was the one who wanted, and there was a lot of people that they were like, well, they were lost on the other side, sir. I said, well, I have ties to the Communist Party too. Talk to them, work with them, find these people. I want every man accounted for. Anyway, I was the one who says leave no man behind. Anyway, I was the one who demanded these kind of things. People would say, Brian, it's like I am Lucifer Star, the Lucifer Star. Even with my exoskeletons, I had exoskeleton medical. We could reattach limbs to my exoskeletons when they lost limbs, because they had like 8 of them, and you could lose 2 or 3. But anyway, that goes back to 1,000 to like 1 billion years, or a couple hundred years before endoskeleton life forms. I had that. I had medical for them as well. These things about caring about people, they're my beliefs. Nixon didn't give a fuck. A lot of people didn't give a fuck. Like I say, George W. Bush, well, for one thing, he was spending money from an oil well where they had actually killed everyone in those towns. He didn't own those wells. It was part of the Nixon cover-up. It was a bribe. Anyway, and he was trying to cover up for what Nixon was doing in China. Pissed me off. Anyway, the people of the White House didn't care about leaving no man behind. They left people behind all the time. Didn't give a fuck. I was the one. Like I said, I had battleships, I had military, I had people that would die for me for a reason. Because I really gave a fuck. I really cared. I was willing to spend every last penny I had, every little bit of resources I had, to find those people. That's why people would fly American. Because they knew if they flew American, there would be a search party. There would be aircraft. I had seaplanes, and they would comb the skies until they found wreckage or luggage or something. Putting every single piece of aircraft back together. Even if it is in 30 feet of swamp. Well, it's going to take longer. That kind of stuff. That was Lucifer Star. That was me. Having radar dishes that covered the whole country. So air traffic control could know about every aircraft in the air. Technically, it's also a missile defense system as well. Every inch of airspace above America is watched, protected if there's anything coming into our country. And we even watch the skies over other countries. The AWACS aircraft. That was my crazy plan. Well, maybe. Maybe it was somebody else's, too. But I was like, well, let's put a dish up there. It's a wing. It's round. Let's see if we can make it work. So some people got together and we spent a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of effort to make the first AWACS. The first radar dish in an aircraft. They had to take a radar dish and make it smaller and make it so it would work. A dish. So it could spin inside the aircraft and all that other stuff and then make a wing around it. Anyway, there's a lot of things that people don't understand that were me. The first and only real American president. President of Germany. Like, there's a reason why my people would die for me. There's a reason why. I mean, I was an epic creator. You know, I was the Lucifer star. I created genetically, and even as a person, even as a small person, even as a child, I would inspire people. My buildings inspired people. My trains inspired people. Thousands of miles of track in Russia that were probably laid down by Germans and others would inspire people. Endless amounts of steel rail. Anyway, I was that person. Not George Washington. None of these other people. They were just people. There was a difference between just being a person and being Lucifer's star. Anyway, even with people hunting me down, even with the bad people hunting me down, even with Nixon or someone like letting people out of jail just because, you know, letting bad people out, letting rapists out. You know, the time they were actually locking up good people. Whatever. Anyway, I don't really know. I rolled with the punches. I saved as many people as I could. Anyway, now, you know. Anyway, but I'd like to set the record straight. You know, I had my people. And I had such a complicated system that you know, Nixon couldn't make a dent in my system. They didn't know who worked for who or who knew who. Or how many people, like it was all families. Giant family. That extended to the stars and beyond. Anyway. A lot of people would be like, I don't believe this. Pieces of shit. Don't realize what it's like to be epic. They never will be epic. They're nothing but people that they're just people that cover their own ass and basically lie to other people. Pretend to be something they're not. Anyway. It frustrated me. It pissed me off that they would... You know, I was an amazing person. I had a kingdom. You know, the greatest empire ever. 1,000 worlds, they said. I only counted about 120 though. They said I had 1,000 worlds or more. Actually, probably more if you can count exoskeletons. My exoskeleton empire was 360,000 worlds. No, 36,000 worlds, planets, with large colonies on them. Or 60,000, I don't know. It doubled pretty quick. They could lay 500 eggs at a time. And hatch all new babies. So cute. Anyway, oh well.